information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Score all plays, like working your faces. Switch up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, my man Marcus? What's going on?
Man, how y'all feeling tonight? Huh?
Good, man. Good. About yourself?
Chris, what's going on?
How's it going, man?
So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I know we're running a little behind, which is all good because that game, I think we was all tuned into it. Let me just start by saying that boy, Trae Young, I love watching him play. Like, the more you boo that guy, the more you hate that guy, the more he puts it on your team.
Trae Young is a super villain.
Right. It's almost like, do you be quiet and shut up while he playing? Or your ass go to the fire and watch your team lose? So let's go ahead and jump on that topic real quick. Chris, what do you think about the performance Trae Young put on at this game?
Man, I don't know what it is. Like, I think Trae just wants the other crowds to hate him. Not just the boo. That man wants hate. You saw he did the bye-bye wave after and everything. I mean, he started off pretty bad in the first half, had quite a few turnovers. I guess he went to halftime, had to talk to himself, and was just like, I'm the future of this league.
Right. And that's the kind of show he put on. Like,
yeah.
Like, he don't even belong in the play-ins, how he just played that second half of that game, which is crazy.
It is, man. Like, what he ended up having 32 in the second half?
32
something like that. Half. No turnovers. I mean,
at one point, that was in Cleveland. 12 straight points at one point.
Yeah, he shot threes from Akron, man. It was just crazy.
Which is crazy. So, Kyle, what was your thoughts of the game?
Well, Marcus, we spoke a little bit before we went on air, and I kind of told you that he loves pressure. He loves when people stop booing him. He's had it all through his high school career, his collegiate career, NBA career. He just thrives on it, man. The man got 32 points in the second half, got 13 for 25, 4-11 from three-point field goal percentage, and 3 rebounds, and 38 points with 9 assists. I was telling Chris before we got on the air, I was saying the only 2 people that I know you're gonna get mad, but only 2 people I know that can do what Ice does was Allen Iverson and Isaiah Thomas. Under 6'2".
And here's the
I think that's the thing too we forget about Trae Young. Trae Young might be 5'11".
He might be my height.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He might be my height. And in the realm of basketball, that's way below average when it comes to that. But the fact that this dude, like, he plays the villain role so well, it's like he's made for the moment like this. And that's what I like about it. You don't shy away from it, and you just hit it head on like he did. And then once you perform like that, you're able to do your little shivering thing and waving bye-bye to you, because that's what you do when you're eliminating somebody.
I think like, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and that's what I like about it. And so far, these playing games, they haven't disappointed. Ever since they introduced the playing style, I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, that is true.
All the teams, like, when it comes in to this play-in tournament, I think they did the right thing with this. And as far as the playing games go this year, well, right now, what y'all think about them so far?
Well, Chris, if you don't mind, I'll go first. I think the playoffs are going in playoff games are going pretty well. I mean, it was one blowout, but I think that a lot of teams are going to find out what they're made of, because, as you know, a lot of the teams coming up have a lot of injuries, major injuries, and how they're going to step up with all the. You got Steph. We don't know how he's going to come out. We got Luca. We don't know how he gonna come out. We got my boy George, who, excuse me, I'm upset with for the fact is, how you gonna do one vaccination and not do the second one? So I have a problem with that. I think he's hurting his team as far as that's concerned. Um, Overall, though, I think the playoffs are going so far going very well, and we got the big dogs coming out on Sunday with the Nets and the Celtics, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little while. But overall, I think the playoffs are going pretty well.
Well, I will say this as far as vaccination goes, you can have 2 shots, the boosters. It's not gonna stop you from getting it. So
Yeah,
I'm not gonna really
I'm
hate on it.
vaccinated, and
Yeah.
I had my booster, and I caught it.
So it just helps you get over it faster. So
Yeah.
so yeah, you can still catch. I'm not mad at them about that. The timing seems a little weird, but you know, you never know with stuff like that. So, but as far as the playing games go, so far, Brooklyn beat the Cavs. See, here's the thing about it though: the Cavs been good all season long, and just to get put out like that, just goes to show you that these playing games needs to be taken seriously, and you got to stay working on your craft and take these playing games like they playoff games, because to go from where were they, the ninth seed,
The
the
Cavs
Cavs,
were
yeah, to be put
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
that that's crazy.
Well,
no,
Coach.
they were 7.
They
No,
okay,
no, they were 8. They were 8.
no, they was
Cavs were
8.
8.
My fault. They
The
was
7
8, and
plays 8. Yeah.
right, and the Nets were. So just to get put out like that, and the fashion they got put out, especially tonight, just goes to show you that you can't take the moment for granted.
And it also goes to show you that, Cleveland, they started off real hot, and then they went to a dry spell, and then they had some injuries that affected them greatly. Jared Allen was a big key factor as far as rim protector and things of that nature. And him coming back today, his first game back in I don't know how long, I think that proved to be detrimental to Cleveland because he hasn't played with them for a long time, and he was playing at a very high level. And to get hurt again, injuries are a big factor. Injuries are a very big factor in how you go because of continuity and how y'all play as a team. And then when you lose a player like of that caliber, it hurts. And then when you try to come back, it's not right away. It kind of hurts your team. And if you look at Cleveland, they had LeVert had 16, Markkanen had 26, which I thought was pretty good for him.
That's
And
great,
of course,
man.
That's awesome.
yeah, my man, who I think is going to be a superstar, Darius Garland, he is off. Although he shot 9 for 27, which is not too good, but I think he's going to be a future star. I think that, as I was telling Marcus, Chris, before we went on air, a lot of the teams that were down in the bottom are doing a lot better, and they're doing very well. Matter of fact, Minnesota, you got the Pelicans, you got Cleveland. I mean, a lot of these teams right now, they're getting a lot better after being so far down in the bottom for so many years. And I think it makes more parity for the league. I think it's great for the league. I think the NBA has a lot to look forward to. I'm excited.
Yeah. It really has shown like the future is going to be bright. Like,
Yes.
I mean, because, the old guard starting like LeBron, he has a few more years. My man Chris Paul has a couple more years left. I mean, we're about to start seeing the changing of the guard. So got these new players coming up. It's gonna look real nice. I don't know if I'm a fan of the play-in still though. Like, I mean, I'm enjoying watching the games. Don't get me wrong. Just as a basketball fan, yeah, more basketball is always great. But look at what Cleveland did. Cleveland was 8. Atlanta was 9. 2 years ago, Atlanta's not in the playoffs. Are they I mean, yeah, I think Atlanta is a better team than Cleveland, but I mean, based on what it should have been, Atlanta should have been eliminated. I don't think it's fair now. I mean, like you have a full season. Like I get doing it last year, a shortened season. So you kind of had to make it a little bit even. But I mean, we had a full season this year, so we just found out Atlanta just didn't measure up enough to be, a normal playoff team. And I don't think that's right. That it takes one game for your whole season to be in jeopardy like that. Because I mean, yeah, granted, this year it was close, but what if it's like a 5-game gap between 8 and 9?
Well, see, here's the thing. I think Atlanta was the 10th seed, and I forgot who they played.
They played Charlotte.
They played Charlotte, and Charlotte was the 9th seed. So therefore, Atlanta had to play 2 more games, and then the Cavs had 2 games to win. They only had to win 1 game, really. Essentially, they had to beat Brooklyn the first night to stay in it, and then.
But either way it goes, why should they have to be in that situation when they did what they were supposed to do in the regular season?
Well, they slumped down because they was 3 and 4. Then they slumped down all the way to 8.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
But I mean, normally though, that would just be okay. They slumped down from 3 to 8.
Right.
Like at one point, Brooklyn was 1. They were in the play-in.
Right. Well, they was in the play-in.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. So like, is that what's up?
Basically, the Cavs should have wanted that 7th spot because if they would have lost, they would have been in it regardless.
Right. Hey, so what y'all telling me? What y'all telling me is that the way teams play in the regular season, they should be rewarded, as opposed to teams who may have faltered and may end up in that 9th or 10th spot.
Right.
So what y'all? I can feel you on that.
I mean, I get like, okay, so now it's just basically the bottom 5 is completely out. But like, I mean, if I'm 10 seed and say I'm 7 games behind the 8 seed, I still got a shot to be in the playoffs. And like the team who rightfully earned it during the regular season,
Excuse me. But see, that's what makes it fun because you have to maintain being 1 through 6 in order to stay out of it. So 7 and 8, the 9 and 10 makes sense to play like that. So that way you maintain your level of, your level of being, well, regardless of not 7 through 10 is going to be in the play-in regardless. So even if you're 8 to 12 games above, the 10th seed, but if you're still that strong at what you do, you should have to worry about it, basically. So that's what I like about it. So,
but then it becomes the one thing of like what Conman said earlier. Like tonight, we saw Clint Capella go down.
Right.
Like it just takes one thing though, and like now your whole season has changed because you had to play this pointless ass game that you shouldn't have to because you should be in the playoffs this season. Well, like I get last year shortened season, but like a regular 82 game season.
Well, see,
if you can't get it done in 82 games, the hell are you doing anyway?
The Hawks would have been in it this year then if that's the case. So
they wouldn't have been.
Because they was a 10th seed.
And that's right. And that's what it should have been. Unfortunately, like I love it. I like Trae Young. I want to see him in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But they didn't do it.
Yeah, I get you on that point.
Yeah.
But in order, everything has to evolve and make changes, basically. And for this change to happen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to see Charlotte in the play-in or the playoffs right now. They're just not that. They're not enjoyable. Like with Melo Ball, he just go by his name, and I don't even think he's that great of a player right now.
Okay, so think about with that. Like, so Charlotte was Charlotte 9 or 10?
They were 9.
They were 9. Okay, so let's just say last game, Clint Capella goes down that game. So now Charlotte beats them. Now Charlotte beats Cleveland. Now Charlotte is in the playoffs, although they were ass all season. Right. And they just happen to sneak in. So that's like a cakewalk from Miami. Like I don't know.
Well, see, then there's where the reward is for being the top seed. So, and then as you know in the NBA, when you're not the top seed and you're basically in the bottom, you get a 25% chance at the top pick in the draft. So I see it going both ways. So if that's the way it works, Miami should be rewarded for playing the worst seed, for being the number 1 seed, in the East all year.
Now, how much is that a reward too? Because like, look at last year with Phoenix. First round they end up getting the Lakers. They end up beating them, but like the Lakers had momentum. Phoenix is rested. Like right now, Phoenix is going to be well rested. Right. And then Sunday they'll play either the Pelicans or the Clippers. Whichever team it is going to have some momentum. Well, especially with the Pelicans, they'll have that momentum going. So now the Suns, they're rested. I mean, is that a disadvantage for that first game?
Yes, it's still a reward because you're playing the Pelicans or the Clippers. So if you're
any team is capable.
But see, Phoenix been that good for the past 2 years, so that should be okay. And you're a Chris Paul fan, so you down Chris Paul now?
No, I'm not saying that.
Nothing. He'll never.
Wait a minute. Hold on. No, I'm just saying, like, you don't got time, you don't got relaxed, you don't got rested. This team has, they out there playing, and right now, them boys ain't doing no practicing or nothing. They trying to scout who they gonna play, and that's one thing too. Like they don't know, like the winner of this game right now, they know. Well, shoot, after this, we going straight to Phoenix. Me and Chris Paul, we sitting here talking to Devin Booker right now. We trying to figure out who coming to us.
That matter, if you're the 1 seed playing possibly the 8 seed or possibly the 10 seed that took over the 8 seed. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, I get it, but I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like like I said, I'm enjoying watching the games. Don't get me wrong.
So,
I can't feel you, Chris. I can't feel you. Bad example, but an example nevertheless. The Pelicans right now are up by like 11 over the Clippers right now. Clippers don't have George, of course, and Kawhi. The Pelicans right now, they're doing the damn thing. They're on the road right now.
But Khan, has the Clippers always had Kawhi?
Not this year. Not last year.
Or the year before.
Good, hey, Marcus, good point.
Right.
Good point.
So, but I do see the Pelicans pulling that off, keeping the lead and winning that game. But I
hope so.
They came back on the Pelicans when they had a 35-point lead, I believe, and won that game. Came back and won.
Paul George
let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question. Why do you think the playing games was resurrected, or why are they doing it?
The shortened season from last year,
and not to mention that they're trying to bring a whole new different feel to the game, basically. So
oh no,
man.
We're having a good night.
Man. We're having a good night, man. We're having a great night.
Wait, hey, Marcus, I have a question.
Yeah.
LA's playing, right?
Yeah, LA's playing.
That's LA.
Yeah.
But they're not wearing purple and gold.
Nah, I think it's the red, white, and blue.
It's that LA team.
Yeah.
Purple and gold ain't playing?
No.
Purple and gold not? Oh, okay. All right.
What happened to that one?
Just checking.
First of all, how you doing, DeMarcus?
How you feeling?
How you doing, DeMarcus? Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, Marcus. Hey, Chris, I'm going to tell you one thing. Marcus is one of the coolest dudes to hang out with. Dylan, he had a good time with Marcus. Hey, Marcus, Dylan looking, hey, I mentioned there might be a possibility of another trip, but that got canceled for this month. But Dylan was so ready to go when I mentioned that you was going to be there. So,
that's facts. Like I was sitting right there when it happened.
So shout out to them. But Chris, I love you. I appreciate what you did for me. I got you. But I had to come on here to school you. And Con, man, I understand. Yes, I will understand if you want to leave the show because I beat up on you a couple of times this week already.
Yes, you have.
So, but what are we talking about, though?
Well, see, you came in at the right time because we were just talking about how the playing games are working so far in the NBA. Well, working for some, and for folks like Chris, they don't want no parts of it. So what you think about that, Freddie?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to really tell you. I was in a bad spot, you guys. Because I'm thinking about this Pelicans game with the Clippers. And I'm like, oh, I hate the Clippers so much. I hate them so much. But I hate Phoenix too because people like Chris, people like Jay, people like Evan, because they feel like they have accomplished something, but they really haven't. So I'm like, this, you know what? Can I imagine that the Clippers asked to play in, and then you have Paul George, and all of a sudden he's in COVID protocol today, and then the Claw come back and they knock out the Suns in the first round. Could you imagine that? So, but
Good and well, Kawhi ain't coming back this year.
So I don't know where I don't, Marcus. I really don't know, but on the other side of me, like, you know what? I'll never go for the basement dwellers and the Clippers. So I'm like, only thing I want to see with the Clippers is when the Clipper on my edge of. That's the only thing. So I'm pretty much stuck on who I want to go with. But it don't matter who I want to go with because look like the Clippers getting that butt tapped right now by the Pelicans.
And see, that's the interesting thing that I do like about this playing game is that they have a chance to, get into the playoffs. And as of right now, I don't want to see the Clippers in the playoffs anyway, only because they're not fully healthy. And that would be, a little knock on the Suns beating up on the unhealthy.
You play who was in front of you.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at it, but at least the Pelicans probably be a better matchup for the Suns. Make it. Listen, CJ McCollum's been balling since he got to the Pelicans.
Oh, so yes.
Maybe we had to re-look at, how him and Dame paired up together, because since they let that boy loose in New Orleans, that boy's been balling.
But hey, keep an eye on Portland this summer. That's all I gotta say. Just watch. They're gonna make some moves. They have cap space. They have draft picks now. Hey, there've been a lot of people been wanting to go to Portland, but guess what have been the problem? They don't have this. Now they have that. So,
hey, Freddie, I gotta tell y'all something real quick. Freddie, I love you, man, but do you know that the Pelicans right now do not have Zion playing for them? Do you know that they have one of the Lakers picks in next year's draft?
That's fine. That's fine. The Lakers, we don't need draft picks to be successful. We've seen that.
I need something.
What?
Y'all need something.
We don't need draft picks to be successful. Listen, you guys, let me educate y'all. And I'm surprised. Con man, the historian of basketball wanted to come.
Y'all keep bringing that up, man. Let that go.
Let me tell you this. Look at the Laker history. Outside of Magic, outside of James Worthy, and outside of Kobe, if you want to say. I mean, you want to count
Kobe wasn't drafted by them.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to count it, You don't. When has the Lakers really been successful in the draft, building championship teams?
Good point. But Fred, check this out. Because they're strung up with the salary cap they have right now, with
three won't be a problem. Russ is on his way out. I'm flying to LA next week. I'm going to help him pack his bags. Marcus is coming to be with me. He got the U-Haul on the way, and Chris going to meet us in Indiana to help unpack him down there with the Pacers. So we don't have to worry about that. He's on the way out.
Yeah, that's always easy to do. Addition by subtraction. So
man, hey, and y'all want to hear what the trade idea got that I think is going to happen? We're going to trade Westbrook. We're going to trade THT. We might even trade that second-round pick we got for Malcolm Brogdon, Buddy Hield, and Miles Turner. Miles Turner been ready to leave. We've been hearing that. Could you imagine putting those pieces with a LeBron James and AD?
Nah, y'all got to give them more than that.
Could you imagine Miles Turner with the AD? Ooh. See, because watch this right now. See, when we made the trade, and when we was talking about the trade deadline, we were we was okay with just one person, with John Wall, whatever. We was okay with that at first. It's right now this summer. It has to be for bodies. We need bodies, but we need good value bodies. Good. See, people always want to go, and this is the problem with the Lakers have at times. And we've seen throughout their history, it came back and bite them in the butt from time to time. We too starstruck. We want too many stars. This time it bit us in the butt with Westbrook. Now we know we can win a championship with AD and LeBron. We need to put quality role players, guys that know how they're going to do their job, guys that know they're going to defend at a high level, guys that's going to knock down a 3-point shot when they're open, guys that's not going to turn the ball over 10, 15 times a game. That's the type of people we need right now.
Y'all had them 2 years ago.
Well, guess what? We let them go. We made a mistake, but it's time to retool. We LA. We know. There's one thing that's never going to stop. People will always want to come to Hollywood. Hell, my dude Marcus, he want to go to Hollywood. My dude Chris, he want to go to Hollywood. Conman, he want to go to Hollywood.
True.
I want to go to Hollywood. So people will always want to put on that purple and gold.
Oh no, not me.
I'd go to the Clippers.
To the Clippers, a team that put female models to cover our banners if they haven't done nothing. That's what you really want to go?
Chris, I got bad memories there too.
Chris, you don't even need no Clippers, but you want to go to the Clippers. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
He had to take a shot at his ball head, folks. There,
Hey, but some of y'all, I'm a little disappointed in the boss because he's taking my perception of what the Lakers can do. And boss, why are you hopping on my bandwagon? Now, Chris and Marcus, I'm gonna tell you what can happen. You see, Westbrook is due $47 million this upcoming year. If some team who has the cap space, like in Indiana, would take on that 1 year, guess what? They would be rid of that 1 year cap space and they would have major money to do whatever they want. Teams like Indiana, teams like Sacramento, teams like that. And the boss, even though I love him, he hopping on my bandwagon because I told him that on the other show before he yelled at me and cussed me out. But that's all right.
I'm not proud, sir. I don't cuss you out.
Well, see, here's the thing with that. They could do that deal theoretically, but they would still have to eat some of Westbrook's money if they wanted.
No.
They won't make that trade unless they eat some of Westbrook's money.
No, you're wrong.
He's about next year. He's about next year, though.
Yeah, because
he said Turner, and who else he say?
Brogdon and Buddy Hield.
They would, in order to make that trade, they would have to take on Westbrook's money. Look up what they
are.
That's
what he's saying. Like they'll sign him for next year, ride him out next year, and then release or don't re-sign him.
They won't.
You have that
because he's expired contract.
That's what I'm saying.
In order for him to make that deal, they would have to.
He's gonna pick up his player option. Then we're going to trade him. That's what gets his money off of our books, and it goes into the Pacers. Then the Pacers have to pay him that money. The Lakers won't have to pay him that money.
But then next year, the Pacers would have that free money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So down there, Freddie came in and got us
all.
The
Lakers.
Yeah,
the Lakers were not the topic at all.
I like the Lakers and everything like that, but they're not my Philadelphia 76ers. So we're going to jump back on topic here.
Who is going to get knocked out by the Raptors?
Which is all fine. That could be your prediction.
Can Thibault play?
He can't play in Toronto.
Not in Toronto.
And so that goes to our next topic.
So it's time to jump on him like we jumped on Kyrie.
Well, that's different because he's able to play. He's able to play home games in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but still, he's not willing to do whatever it takes to sacrifice for the betterment of his team. Wasn't that what we saying about Kyrie Irving?
I wasn't.
I'm talking about everybody else.
I'm not everybody else.
Stephen A. Smith of the
I never said
that. Keep the same energy, you guys.
Yeah, if you want to get,
I had the same energy. My problem with Kyrie was just say what you was gonna do. You know, it was too much of like, will he, won't he? That was the only problem I had with the Kyrie thing.
I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Today players, I kind of really, and I know I'm young, I'm a millennial and all that, but I really don't like their mindsets. I guess because I'm still stuck in the Kobe mindset that he ain't gonna let nothing get in the way from him from playing basketball. Like, I guess I'm still stuck in that mode, or I'm not used to players being friends, partying with one another, dapping, and I guess I'm just not over that yet.
That
And
happened.
we see two players right now in the league that haven't really got their heck, they haven't got their fingernail in the door yet. And Zion Williamson, Ben Simmons, but they don't want to touch the court. We see Zion Williamson doing dunks on the pre-game warm-up line. Well, we don't want to see that.
Nope.
We don't want to see that.
Yeah.
We want to see you doing that in the game.
Here's the thing, Freddie. I agree with you on the levels of Ben Simmons and Zion. But to say that dudes can't be friends back in the day, they was friends back then. They was all hanging out, golfing with each other, smoking. It just wasn't no social
Jordan
media.
and Barkley.
Right. It just wasn't no
You saw
social
Magic
media.
and Isaiah Kids. Come on, man.
Right. And you do understand that back then the newspapers wrote what they wanted to write as far as sports goes.
Yeah, but they wasn't doing that night before game and stuff. Kobe would never do that mess, bro. He would never.
That we
Hey.
know of. Social media didn't exist then.
When
Check this out.
Kobe,
There was a story. Allen Iverson. After they played, him and Kobe, I think it was either after they played or before they played, one of the two. They would have dinner. Kobe would have dinner, but hey, I said, hey man, let's go to the club, whatever. Let's go party because he's in LA. Kobe told him no. Players nowadays, man, they all up in there.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's their job. And once their job is done, I don't care what you do in your personal time. Like, I've never been a fan of, who's buddy and stuff like that. Like, if they want to go out and party after they did their job, so be it. Like,
So you'll be okay. You'll be okay if y'all lose to the Brooklyn Nets and then you see Joel Embiid and Kevin Durant partying, having a good time the next night.
So be it. I also see Joel cry at the end of a game that they lost to Toronto. So it all depends on how you handle it emotionally. Like, I can't be mad at these guys nowadays for wanting to hang out because at the end of the day, it's still just basketball. So
Chris Paul, Lord have mercy. Chris, I did not mean to call you Chris Paul.
Yes,
Chris, I did not mean to do that. It just kind of like came out my head and just. Chris, so you'll be okay. Let's say Milwaukee beat y'all in the finals this year, and you see Chris Paul and Giannis partying.
Well, first of all, don't even joke about that.
Would you be okay with that?
Say it again.
If you lose to the finals this year to the Bucks, would you be okay seeing Chris Paul and Giannis Antetokounmpo going to the club the next night partying and all that?
Is Chris gonna fight him?
No, did they go on a party?
No.
Jordan and Isaiah didn't do that.
Jordan didn't like nobody back then, but I'm not gonna put Jordan.
Jordan hung out with Barkley. We've heard several stories of Jordan and Barkley hanging out.
See, that's the thing. I'm so sick of hearing about Jordan. Jordan was 35, 40 years ago. And I don't want to hear about Barkley and Jordan and Shaq and all these days because we know all these fools hung out. But we know that Jordan and Isaiah had a real personal rivalry.
Right.
On and off.
Still do.
So on and off the court. So
which
like,
they need
putting
to drop
Jordan into these conversations, I think we need to just leave Jordan. I think we need to leave Jordan back in the 90s.
But Jordan needs to drop that beef though. By the way, life is too short.
Like everybody want to keep Jordan names in their mouth for simple fact they don't want to evolve with the NBA. Like Jordan is not the end all be all when it comes to the NBA. I'm sorry.
He is. He's the GOAT.
He's not. Maybe the Jordan brand, the shoes,
Who's
maybe.
The GOAT, bro, Marcus?
Maybe. But as far as Jordan playing basketball, his days is
Marcus.
over, man. Let it go.
Who is GOAT, Marcus?
Jordan.
Oh.
I said that from the get go. I like Jordan to LeBron.
Hey, so
Look,
did y'all hear
I'm
what
not-
Shaq said about LeBron?
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
What did he talk about? People players don't fear him.
People have
That's not
revisionist
true
history.
though.
Right. People
That
have
is not true at
revisionist
all.
history when it comes to this stuff. Y'all
I
letting
think
a
nobody's scared of
bad
LeBron.
year for LA go, and now y'all want to pile on LeBron.
How many times did we talk about DeMar DeRozan fearing LeBron in the playoffs? LeBronto was a real thing. Like people feared that man.
Just ask the Warriors.
Why'd they go get Kevin
Outside of
Durant?
Toronto, I don't think nobody was scared of LeBron.
Ask Chicago.
No, I don't think Chicago feared him. They just couldn't.
Ask
beat him.
Indiana. Ask all the people that he put out in the playoffs for 8 straight
Paul
years.
George, you know Paul George was scared of LeBron.
So
Not now because he got Kawhi to ride on now.
Do he? When's the last time you seen Kawhi play?
Okay, let's keep that same energy. Just like you said, everybody love to talk about my boy Anthony Davis, but nobody love to mention Kawhi Leonard. How many games?
Well, that's because AD's just, I don't know.
It's easy to pick on him.
No, it's not that. With like, they did all this for AD to come. Like Kawhi just went to the Clippers, you know. Like AD made this big deal. Like, nah, I'm not gonna play in New Orleans and all this. Like,
Which
I'm
he
gonna go be the
should have.
savior of the Lakers and all this stuff. He gets there, they get the championship. That's cool. But even that season, what did he play? Well, no, that was the bubble year, so he had plenty of time to rest up.
But guess what?
And like
Chris?
the thing is, we can say with AD though, it comes down to his conditioning too.
But guess what, Chris? He did something your boy CP3 can't do.
What?
Uh-oh, watch out, Fred. Watch out. Watch out.
What's that?
He won the big game. CP3 can't
He
do it.
won. He won, or LeBron did.
No, LeBron. No. AD had a big moment against the Denver Nuggets when he hit that big time game winning three.
Okay.
AD was going crazy that year, bro. Like AD was going like nuts.
but we all do know that regardless of how that situation happened, once you win the title from being traded and went to LA, you accomplished what you needed to accomplish.
Hey, but fellas, do something.
So
Y'all got
what?
me
Because
mad.
you got what you. Oh, go ahead, Mark. Oh man.
Y'all got me mad right now because y'all said something that really got me totally upset. And I'm going to rant because y'all said Paul George feared LeBron or whomever. If you are a competitor, you don't fear nobody. So I have a problem with that because if you're a competitor, you the man, why would you fear anybody? You would take that on as a challenge. So me being old school that I am, I would take on that challenge. I would not be scared of anybody.
So comment, Michael Jordan didn't put fear in people's hearts.
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is the people who he played against, do you think they feared him or do you think they wanted to take on that challenge? They probably couldn't handle it. But don't say they feared or they were scared. How you gonna be scared to be NBA All-Star or All-World and be scared of another man? You can't do that.
I believe Jordan, people like Jordan and Kobe, put fear in other men's heart going against them just because, not even really on their basketball level, but just like Kobe would play certain mind tricks. You know, he'll play little mind games. He'll say certain things to throw you off, to have you thinking. Like, it's just certain, like Kobe was really like Phil Jackson was the perfect coach for Kobe. Just think about it. You have the what did they call Phil Jackson? The oh my god,
the Zen Master.
The Zen Master.
Zen Master.
Yeah, the Zen Master. You know, Phil had a lot of weird things. You know, he was a weird dude, and Kobe fed off of that because he had certain things that he would do to really like. Hey, like I remember him saying that he would study the referee book just to know what fouls that he can get away with, and players would get pissed off about that. I mean, there's just certain things that he would do, man.
That's just more so being a student of the game than it is being feared. I don't even think Jordan was feared. When you think about it,
y'all think Baki was
Jordan was going up against
Jordan? No, not barking. Barkley was a different breed, bro.
Jordan went up against some, I want to say, okay.
You think Pat Ewing was scared of Jordan?
Yeah, Patrick Ewing wasn't scared of Jordan. Reggie Miller wasn't scared of Jordan. Now,
hell no.
how you lose, when you lose, that's more so of a team thing. And
Marcus, me and you playing basketball, you're going to be scared of me. I promise you. Because I'm crossing you over. I'm knocking down the three, floating down the lane, step back, bang, bang, boom. I'm doing Freddie, it all.
Hey, Marcus is a big man. He'll push you down low. You can't do nothing with him.
Hey, con man, we're gonna need you to referee because if Chris wants some of this, I'm gonna say, Chris, let's go.
Yeah, but nah, see, that's what I'm telling you. When people can write the stories they want and people will run with it. Nobody feared Jordan, and I can make the argument that Jordan had the better team throughout the 90s. Period.
Easily.
Right. So,
but I just hate Marcus when y'all said he was feared. If you a ball player, man, just like y'all, I don't know if y'all. I grew up in the hood. I didn't fear nobody. I took on that challenge because that was a challenge. What did I respect him? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Did I fear? No, absolutely. This was not a fear.
Yeah, this came out of Shaq's mouth. He used the word "nobody feared LeBron." I don't use the word fear because, like you said, Kyle, they all.
You got to realize, Mark. You got to think about who said that as well. Because I don't think nobody feared Shaq.
No,
I don't think but there's a lot of people scared of Shaq because you seen a dude that big, dominated. Like, hey, either you gonna come up on me or you gonna feel my body. I'm gonna make you feel me.
Once I seen Barkley pick him up and drop him like one,
hey, there you go. Exactly.
So, and don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Shaq. Like, I'm a fan of Shaq, and I think these old school players, not old, but these players that live and play the game already, that's done and over with, they just need to show respect to these guys that's playing right now because they kind of killing the game in a sense. With all the nonsense they be talking.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem.
I really think so. They more so mad that they came out a little too early and getting this money.
You think Magic is hurting the game?
Huh?
You think Magic is hurting the game?
Yes, in a sense, Magic do hurt the game because Magic can come out his mouth and talk all kinds of crap sometimes. I'll be like, yo, Magic, what are you talking
like what?
Like, he has his times where he goes off on the Lakers and, make certain comments.
Well, you got to realize, like, Laker fans, no matter who they are, we always think highly. Like, we go in the season, like Chris, their sons, they're okay with just making to the finals. They're just okay making it to the conference finals. That is their championship. Certain teams are okay making it to the first round, the second round. Hell, we seen the Minnesota Timberwolves happy to make it to win a play-in game. But the Lakers, every year, is championship or bust. We don't care about nothing below or in the middle. It's a championship or bust. That's all. That's every year. Even when we got a bad team, that's the only thing we care about.
Yeah, but see, that's fine, because that was already expectations set in the early days of the NBA. But what I'm saying is, to all these dudes that's way past their glory days, that's trying to relive it through these young guys right now, they're hurting the game. So it's like, for me, you'll never hear AI talking bad about anybody on the Sixers.
Hell, the Sixers doing him bad.
I can tell you, so that'll be I think they doing AI bad, but you never hear AI say a negative word about anybody on the Sixers, and he might go on the show every now and then and say
you didn't hear Kobe say anything bad about players.
So, but these dudes that's commentating and stuff right now, they make the NBA look bad.
You didn't hear bad things about him saying anything bad.
Oh, when he retired.
Yeah, right. Chris,
but some family, what I think is the players like Magic and all them guys, they didn't have rest management or what. They played every goddamn game. Michael Jordan he went 9 years in a row, played 82 games. So you got people who come from the old school, can't relate to the people who are taking games off for rest and making $40 million a year. So to
Yeah,
answer your
Jordan
question,
also
Mike,
took 2 years off. Jordan took 2 years off.
Right.
So the rest, a game or two here and there. And that goes back to saying we don't know these dudes' injuries, whether you hurt your back, whether it's a soft tissue injury or not. Like, we're not there. We're not the medical doctors. That's another
So
thing.
don't criticize Anthony Davis since you just said that.
No, I ain't say Anthony Davis. We know he's clearly hurt. But I'm saying even if you want to, quote unquote, use a word load management, hell, we don't even know where that word came from. When Kawhi.
I don't know.
Basically came from Kawhi. Yeah, so that's what you wanted. But they've been doing that with Tim Duncan and them. And I'm quite sure Tim Duncan wasn't hurt. You know,
let's be real. AD is better than Tim Duncan.
Wrestling a few games here and there.
Wait, what'd you say, Freddie?
Let's be real. Anthony Davis' skill talent is better than Tim Duncan's.
I know. I think I say some crazy things, but
his talent is better than Tim Duncan.
Yeah, he's a better talent than Tim Duncan. Yeah,
I could agree with that.
Okay, he could do better than Tim Duncan. Was dribble the ball better than Tim Duncan.
He can shoot the ball better.
He can shoot. He be a better shooter than Tim Duncan.
I can't tell.
He has more range.
Tim Duncan has more longevity. Tim Duncan.
Yeah, he do have that. He do have that. But I mean, hell, Chris has more longevity than Anthony Davis.
I love AD's game. He's just never healthy.
He missed 30 games. Have more longevity.
30 games.
Listen, the best way. You know what they say. The best availability is availability. However they say that.
But guess what, Marcus? Next year, 82 games.
Yeah, right. You might as well just go ahead. You might as well flip that.
82 games.
More like 28.
Who's on 82?
They call them street clothes
AD
for a reason.
and Bron, both of them, 82.
Combined, they'll do 82.
They call them street clothes for a reason.
Hey, LeBron, you get 41. I got 41.
Right.
And still make $40 million a year. You know, come on.
LeBron deserves it. LeBron can miss them.
I'm about to say they deserve it. I can't hate on them on what they made. I'm not counting nobody else's money.
I'm with you on that.
And that's my thing too. Like, if LeBron missing games, 9 times out of 10, he's really hurt. You know,
honestly, sometimes I'll be wanting him to miss games. Like, okay, take a rest tonight, bro.
Oh yeah, but we know he's gonna play a lot next year though. He going for that record.
But see, then we also can't take away from the fact that the dudes that do play all 82 games, they don't get no respect. So
who plays 82 now? Who's playing 82?
There's been 5 players this year that played 82 games. 5.
Well, even for the folks that does play, like Westbrook, he had a load management 1 game. You know, you still got to
low management 79 games.
You know, Bridges.
You know what's so crazy though about that? This time last year, it would have been like nobody. I couldn't have said nothing bad about Westbrook without getting some, without people yelling at me. Now everybody hates him again. All of a sudden,
yeah.
Freddie, how many lunches did we have where I was telling you it wasn't gonna work? It's not gonna work.
You know what, Chris? Everybody, we got people out there that don't want to admit it, man. That your boy, he isn't that good. He really isn't that good. I'm trying to find something. I got something of your boy, and hopefully I can find this video. I got a video that
Chris Paul.
Oh crap! No, hold on.
You can't say nothing bad on Chris Paul.
Oh, I got a lot of bad to say about him.
Not this year.
When's the last time Chris Paul played the game?
What are you talking about? The regular season, the 2 games before the season ended.
No, he came back from the injury.
Yeah, he came back just in time.
Come back just to go home. I mean, Chris, do you really think your Suns can beat the Bucks or beat anybody in the East this year? I'm being honest.
I don't think they're gonna make it out the West.
Who's coming out the West, Marcus?
I got Memphis.
No, you don't.
I can see. I can see Golden State coming out of there, and
No, you can.
I can see Golden State coming out.
Hey, I got a video to show you. Can I show y'all this video?
No, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to watch it because y'all
This
talking
describes
foolishness.
the Lakers season right here. What are you doing? Okay. All right, let's see. Russ bring the ball down. Ooh. Look, this is what he do. All right, he gonna bring it down here. He's gonna throw it to AD. Oh. Okay. All right, let's see what he's gonna do. AD. Oh, don't hit AD in the head. Not in the head. All right, let's see. All right.
He's shacked in a fool.
Mid-range. No. Ooh, bully ball. Ooh. Where you go?
He's shacked in a fool.
Right? All right. We playing the Hornets. Ooh. Oh, man. Terry. Scary Terry. Come on, LaMelo. You better get that work. Ooh. And just dribble the ball off out of bounds. Really? All right. Come on, Scary Terry. You Russell Westbrook. You the MVP. Look like the trash MVP. All right. Come on. All right. Come on. AD's right there. All right. Here you go. You got what in the world is that? All right, we're going to get Golden State.
I gotta see it. Put my glasses on.
All
You
right,
ain't missing much, Kyle. You weren't missing much.
I'm about to say that.
That is our season in a nutshell.
But that's what he always was. That's what I was trying to tell people.
Yeah. He ain't really
Like,
done nothing different.
In all honesty, Westbrook did not have a different year than he always has. He just didn't get a triple-double to overshadow everything. This is who he was in OKC.
He had the nerve.
This is what he did
He
in
had
Houston.
the nerve to point fingers at Frank Vogel. Oh, I mean, if anything, Frank Vogel had his back. The Lakers front office, yes, he did.
Frank Vogel benched him. Westbrook had never been benched.
He benched him maybe 2 games. It
doesn't matter.
Because guess what? We're trying to win a game. You're hurting us in the fourth quarter. But guess what?
Win a game, but I didn't get a triple-double. Damn, win.
Hold on, Chris. Front office wanted to put his behind on the bench for good. Him being the backup point guard. Frank Vogel is the reason why I said, no, we're going to make it work. If anything, Frank Vogel was supporting him the whole time.
And then if anything, Frank Vogel should have been fired for that decision if that's the case.
He did get fired.
Hey, but you know something though? You know, the Lakers could have had Ty Lue, but
we didn't need Ty Lue.
He wanted a 5-year contract. They only offered 4. And then they hired Frank Vogel, but then they chose his assistants. What NBA coach goes to a team when the owner tells you who your assistants are going to be?
When you have a coach, that's you have a guy in your front office in Kirk Rambis who was not that good of a coach when he coached.
No.
That good of a player. When you got a guy like that trying to make decisions, then you come across things like that.
Exactly, and that's wrong.
Also, absolutely. When you got a job that's presenting itself to you, you can't turn it down. You know.
I'm glad we didn't hire Ty Lue though.
Why?
We don't need another LeBron James yes man.
So, okay, I have a question. This kind of talks to you too, Marcus. How is Doc Rivers being talked about?
Hell no.
But why? Like,
no.
How does that make you feel, Marcus, as a Philly fan?
Listen, I was never a fan of Doc Rivers. Personally, I think his coaching, his substitution to his timeouts, to everything underneath the sun is horrendous. Like,
thank you. Thank you.
It's horrendous. Go ahead. He don't know when to call a timeout. He don't know what substitution to use properly, and that's why they always blowing 3-1 leads.
So
I was never a fan of Doc Rivers.
Even I know the players are doing it. Doc Rivers is too. He is living off that 2008 ring. Like that whole Celtics team is still living off of that.
And he
like somebody else I know, Suns fan. Yeah.
So
we're current, Freddie. We are like we're gonna win this year, and don't be trying to ride with me to Phoenix when we go, to the parade either.
Trust me, I don't want to ride that ride.
Yeah, Chris, but to your point, Doc Rivers, he's an overrated coach.
He is, but like it's because his team is in the playoffs. They're gonna get bounced by Toronto, but the fact that they're already talking about him going somewhere else, like that can be a good mindset for Philly.
Well, it's not that. If they talk about him going somewhere else, it makes you think that the NBA is rigged. If that's the case, to say
Quiet,
that he would
Lakers
be,
should get
that he'd be a Lakers coach. Like I don't.
Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson would be a great fit either for Philly if we get bounced in the first round or LA. Like I think Mark Jackson doesn't get enough credit for what he's done.
Ain't gonna happen though.
Right.
Mark Jackson hasn't even had a damn interview for a coaching job.
He ain't gonna happen because of his religious convictions. He's done. He's not gonna get no NBA job.
He gonna get
Just
one
like
now.
Oscar Robinson, just like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, just like all them players, they're blackballed. For real.
What I can see a scenario where they bring AI into the Philadelphia
To do what?
Come on, man.
Huh?
Yeah, he wants to be a coach, or he wants to help Philadelphia in some type of capacity.
Hell
Hold
no.
on, I'm getting a call.
Nothing against them, but nah. You can
Hold on,
tell,
y'all.
like,
Getting a call. Hold on, I'm getting a call. Hello? Is? All right, if you need me to come help close the deal, I got you.
Oh, what's he doing?
For
What's
sure.
he
Make
doing?
sure we got Magic in there.
See, what's he doing? What's she doing?
Make sure we get Shaq in there.
He's doing something. He's doing something.
Even if you need to go get Worthy, Michael Cooper, Michael Thomas. We need to go get those guys, get them as well. I was talking to Jeannie, Mark Jackson. We're about to go interview Mark Jackson. We're gonna get Mark Jackson down there. I told
That
him
would be great. That would be
I'll
awesome.
down there. If they need my help, I'll go down there and help close the deal.
Well, Fred, you might have to go down there because he's blackballed. You might have to go down there.
I'm headed out there right now.
So
enjoy getting Quinn Snyder.
I wouldn't mind Quinn Snyder. He's a good coach, got experience, a no BS coach, came under Phil Jackson. He done a good job in Utah.
Yeah.
I think
Wait,
it's
what?
time.
As disappointing as Utah is every year, you think he's done a good job?
No, Utah, I believe, maximized their. I mean, nobody have Utah going to the finals. They're not. Another team is not a finals team.
But they still underachieve. Even though you're not supposed to go to the
They
finals.
reached their potential. They're who they are. You ride on your superstars, and Donovan Mitchell, and Rudy Gobert, and other guys around him are role players. Other than that, he don't really. Rudy Gobert is not the type of big man to be your second option. He's not a Joel Embiid. Your second, I mean, he needs a number two. They thought it was Mike Conley. Mike Conley is not that number two. He have good solid role players between him and Rudy Gobert, and they have accomplished a lot with that core. But they have maximized their potential for that team.
Yeah, Utah's peak has been reached. Like their peak was reached in the bubble, basically. They're not going no farther than where they go in the first round and get bounced out of it.
But just like Portland reached their potential. Everybody's so high on them, but they don't have really that solid third guy. They always had Dame and CJ. Nurkic he was in and out.
And then they got rid of his best role player in Eagles, right? They get rid of Joe Eagles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some down there. Could you imagine adding Zion Williamson to that team?
To what?
To what team?
To Utah.
That's not happening.
He's better off staying right in the There's no difference.
You have Donovan Mitchell finally have a guy that can run with him.
Hey, fellas, you know Zion's up for an extension. If you're the Pelicans, do you pay him that extension?
No.
No. Hell no.
Hell yes.
Only way I would pay him that extension if they put weight limits in how much he plays into his contract. That's the only way I would pay him.
The dude is box office, bro. He's the biggest thing out there right now. You have no
Literally, he's literally the biggest thing out there.
Yeah, but
No,
guess what?
you're not paying this fat ass.
At the end of the day, ain't nobody coming to New Orleans. If you can find some way to get him to play basketball, you pay him the money because he is the face of New Orleans.
Hey, that's gonna happen. Sooner or later, they're gonna make a decision. They're gonna pay him or they're gonna get rid of him. If they get rid of him, he's probably gonna end up with the Knicks.
Yeah, now I'm not gonna make fun of his weight because Sean Kemp had jumped at the weight he was at. But it's like what you're doing to really take care of your body.
Wasn't Sean Kemp 6'10"?
Sean Kemp was what, 6'8", 6'9"?
Yeah, Zion 6'6" though.
Yeah, but Sean Kemp, he had a big body. You know what I'm saying? And he jumped like Zion, or Zion jumped like him. So,
I gotta roll out of here, y'all.
Well, thank you, boss, for coming on, my man. You made my night. You got me all pumped up, man. Thank you for that.
Hey, you have a good night.
You too, man.
So yeah, I can't hate on Zion for his weight because he's like he has more muscle now.
No, he doesn't.
He look like he has more muscle.
He looks fat.
I can't go that far. Only because echo of my drum. Yeah, only because he can still jump and run like he do. So you can't be that big if you can do what he do. I can't do a 360 just standing here, let alone jump in the air and do a 360.
I mean, he has so much talent. It's a shame. What? Clippers came back. They're leading the Pelicans now. What?
There's still a lot of game left.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
So
a lot of games. I'm going for the Pelicans.
So Zion might be pulling a Ben Simmons,
So what now?
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you.
So yeah, Zion might be pulling a Ben Simmons,
Nah, I think Zion wants to play. I think the Pelicans aren't letting him.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think he's going to play for the Pelicans. I think he's going to get up out of there and, go somewhere else and ball out. And that's probably when, he'll look more slimmer, I guess. But he's always been a big dude. So,
well, let me ask y'all something real quick. You got the Knicks, who have so much salary cap money, who have all that money. How come they have not done a goddamn thing? Excuse my language. They signed Randall to a semi-max contract, and then they signed Kemba Walker, who's on one leg, and they signed Fournier, who's almost at $30 million a year. What do you think the Knicks need to do to make them relevant again?
Get new ownership.
But that's not going to happen, fam. That's not going to happen.
Well, that's it.
He owns the Knicks and the Rangers. He ain't going nowhere.
That's the best way we could describe that. Is ownership.
You're right. I agree, but
until then, the Knicks, they're not going to be relevant.
Right.
What a shame. What a shame. You're right, though. You're right.
We can't even elaborate more on that because it's the owner, really. So once they get rid of Dolan, then they might come back to relevancy if they ever was relevant, other than being the Mecca of basketball.
Yeah.
I don't think the Knicks was really ever that good of a team. Even when they had Patrick Ewing, John Stark on board. Yeah, they made one of them. They really haven't been, relevant. I think y'all's more known for Rutgers basketball, and y'all outdoor games and really in the NBA.
Oh, you mean like the Rucker? Like
Yeah.
I've been there. I know you're talking about.
And I think y'all got the Drew Leagues in California, but y'all got a lead out there too that all the NBA players go to play at, in the off season. I think Kevin Durant was just out there dropping 70 on the boys out there.
At the Rucker, yeah, he did.
Was that the Rucker? Okay.
It was at the Rucker. He got 70, 71 at the Rucker.
Mm-hmm. So therefore,
and Kobe did too. Kobe went off too. God bless us. Kobe went off at the Rucker. They all damn went at the Rucker. Dr. J went off at the Rucker. You know what I mean? So
me, the Knicks ain't really been that relevant in the sense they just in New York. So that's why their name floats out like that. But what have the Knicks really done?
Not a damn thing.
Right.
Shame.
Had they even won a title in New York?
70-71.
Okay.
Willis Reed, Walt Frazier, Earl the Pearl Monroe. You know, I'm a historian. I
already know.
Yeah, you already know.
That's why I asked the question. That definitely waiting before my time. So, and that's the thing for my up north, especially in that Atlantic division. I think the closest we had to a title so far was the Raptors. And Atlantic, Brooklyn, they never won nothing. Last time the Sixers won was back in '83. Boston maybe in 2008. Last time they won. So.
Well, I gotta give you all a little history again. Brooklyn did win, but they weren't called Brooklyn. They were called the Nets in the ABA with Dr. J. But that's going way back. I'm going way back.
Right. So that was like the last. So the most recent team up north in that area was the Raptors, I believe, in 2017.
What?
2017.
Yeah.
So so basically everybody in that whole Atlantic division stinks. So I gotta say,
wow.
So I gotta say, my team, we're gonna win it all this year. So we ain't won nothing since '83. So it's been almost 40 years since we even did the championship.
Now let me ask you a question real quick. I know we gotta go soon. Now you from Philly, right? And my heart is with Dr. J, as you all know. And do you think that, I don't know how far back you go, but I go back way back, but I'm not gonna go too far back. When they had McGinnis and all them dudes, don't you think they should have won more titles?
Who?
Philly.
When they had who now?
George McGinnis, Lloyd Free. Do I have to go?
You go too far back before my time.
I was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, you go back before my time.
Oh man! All right. I'm sorry. I'll keep up to the high. I'm sorry, fellas. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I think the farthest we go back with Philly is the Barkley days.
Yeah, you gotta understand that I caught the end of the Barkley days in Philadelphia. So I was up there to like the first it was AI and what's his name with the Braves.
For who?
He got traded to Washington not long after. Larry Hughes.
Who?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, so, you don't know about Andrew Toney, right? You don't know about him?
Yeah, I know. I heard stories of Andrew Toney. Yep.
Oh man, y'all too young. I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna fall back.
So and I started watching like when we had Sean Bradley for a brief stint and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's been on. I've been more of a Sixers fan since like 90, 92 when I was really able to understand basketball in a sense. When they had Jordan playing on NBC. No one was taking the lead on that good stuff. So yes. But I hear too much of an echo going on there. That just
Is that me? Is that me?
No, that's probably me. I can hear it on my end.
Hey, I'm Fabio. Came on. The boss came on. I don't like him that much, but you know, the boss came on. It was cool, though. It was cool. It was good.
So yeah, that would definitely conclude this show. I'll definitely be with y'all next Friday, as far as I can see. So till then, I appreciate y'all boys. It was a fun night, and let's get it going next Friday.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
It was the bomb, y'all. I love hanging out with y'all, man. It was the bomb, man.